welcome, excuse me. Welcome everyone to Morning Flow. My name is Mark Cormier. Today in our class, we're featuring Kathy Cormier, as usual. Would you like to? Welcome, Kathy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning Flow. All right, so I'll invite you to come to the top of your yoga space, finding your feet, from your feet finding your legs, from your legs finding your spine. Relax shoulders tall through the crown. I'll invite you to bring your hands to your heart, a light press of your thumb against your sternum as you line up each finger, a slight tuck of the chin, and as we focus our attention inward, just watching as our breath flows in and as our breath flows out, arriving here in our yoga space, ready for a morning flow practice. Now from this place of just watching your breath, I'll invite you to shape your breath as you find a long, slow inhalation, matched by a long, slow exhalation. As you breathe in, I'll invite you to bring the air to the top of your chest, the base of your belly, filling up each side waist, filling up both front and back planes of your body. As you breathe out, I'll encourage you to engage your abdominals as you draw the low belly in and up, concurrently squeezing the kidneys in and up, like squeezing a tube of toothpaste from all sides, squeezing a little more air out, also providing structural support for our back, for our bodies, as we move through these shapes and sequences. To this deeper, fuller breath, moving towards the Ujjayi or ocean breath, a go-to breath in many flow practices, a slight constriction of the base of your throat to add a slight sound and feel to your breath. As we flow through our practice this morning, letting the sound and feel of your breath be a focus for your practice. The sound is often compared to the waves of the ocean as the waves wash in and as the waves wash out. Now taking the tip of the tongue to the hard palate just behind the teeth, trying to keep that connection throughout the practice, keeping our jaws relaxed and connecting front and back planes of our bodies. And finally, with your lips closed, adding a slight smile to your face, opening up the front of your throat so your breath has lots of room to circulate, refresh, and revitalize. Keeping all this, if you closed your eyes, opening your eyes, lifting the chin, hands by your side. Keeping it simple, warming up our shoulders as we inhale the arms up and over the head. And exhaling arms down. 2 more times like this. Inhaling arms up. Exhaling arms down. Inhaling arms up. Exhaling arms down. Now adding a forward fold, half sun sail, breathing in. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Take a breath to lift chin and tail. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, arms out to the side, flat back, hinging at the hips, rising on up. Exhaling, standing tall. 2 more times like this. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, folding. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, flat back, hinging at the hips, arms up and over the head. Exhaling, standing tall. Sun salutation A. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And then on the exhale, grounding on down, finding your down dog. And I'm not going to cue vinyasa on this first one. As we heard, hold this first down dog. I'll invite you to walk your dog, bending one leg deeply as you ground down through the opposite heel. And then walking the dog on the other side. And then freely moving back and forth between the 2 sides, just stretching it out. How does your body feel this morning? What feels tight? What feels right? What feels somewhere in between? From this place of movement, I'll invite you to move back towards relative stillness, long arms, long legs, long spine, deep full breath. Tail into that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone a little bit higher, a little more space in the low back, and then looking between the hands as you mindfully make your way to the front of your mat. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, folding. Inhaling, hinging at the hips, flat back, arms up and over the head. Exhaling, standing tall. This time I will cue vinyasa. Inhaling, arms up and over. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Take a breath to lift chin and tail. And then on the exhale, cycling through yoga push-up with or without the knees. Chaturanga. Inhaling either into cobra, the hips stay down, or lifting the hips for your up dog. And then pushing on back, finding your down dog. And holding for 4 or 5 breaths. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to the base of your throat. From that place, listening and feeling as your Ujjayi breath flows in. And as your Ujjayi breath flows out. Wherever you are, always feeling free to stay there. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone a little bit higher. More space in the low back. And then looking between the hands as you mindfully make your way to the front of your mat. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, standing tall. Let's do one more sun salutation A. We'll throw a moving plank into the mix. I may ask you to go sideways for the demo, Kathy. Inhaling, arms up and over the head. On the exhale, folding. Take a breath to find length as you look up. And then grounding on down, and you have a choice. Either cycling through vinyasa or just finding your down dog. Always finding that balance between your effort and your ease. And why don't you go sideways if you want to do this. So feeling free to hold your down dog if you choose. Breathing, it's all good. Our model has to get her hair fixed. Which,
Problems with long hair.
Which doesn't happen to those of us who don't have as much hair. So either holding your down dog or letting your inhale bring you forward to the top of a push-up. And she's on a nice slippery floor, so there's different ways for her to do that. And then exhaling it back to down dog. Inhaling forward to plank. Exhale, taking it back. This last one I'll invite you to hold. Inhaling forward to the plank. Holding it for a breath. Holding it for another breath. And then one more half breath. Big breath in. And then on the exhale, as you draw navel to spine, lifting those hips high. And holding for another breath or two. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to your hands. Lots of space between each finger. Grinding down a little more predominantly between the thumb and the forefinger as we draw the energy up the inseams of the arms. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone a little bit higher, a little more space in the low back. And then looking between the hands as you either step or maybe take a jump to the front of your mat. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, rising on up, arms up and over the head. On the exhale, standing tall. Why don't you stay sideways, Kathy, for Sun Sal B. We'll find our chair pose. Knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up, glutes engaged, a little back bend at the top. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length, and then breathing out. Back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. And then let's repeat that moving plank pose. Inhaling forward to the plank. Exhale and hold. Or sorry, exhale, draw. So inhale forward. Exhale back. Yeah, sorry, I messed you up on the cueing. And then we'll hold this last one. Strong, strong, strong. Feeling that connection between head, hips, and heels. And now, lifting those hips high. Back to your down dog. From here, flow style. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky for the three-legged dog. High on the left toes. Now looking between the hands, bringing that right foot on through. Spinning the back heel down. Hands, you can always bring hands to hips. Yeah, just finding your balance. And now up and over the head for your warrior one. Back leg long, back leg strong. And then riding your next exhale back to down dog. And again, take your time. Find your flow. There's no need to rush. And from down dog, second side when you're ready. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes. Looking between the hands, bringing that left foot on through. Spinning the back heel down, arms, when you're ready, you always find the hips first. And then up and over the head as you find your warrior one, beautiful. And then riding your exhale back to low lunge as you spin that back heel up. And then back to down dog, as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back. Deep full breaths. In whatever shape you choose. Now you could always choose a child's pose too. Coming back to an even breath and watching that breath as it flows in and out. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between the hands as you mindfully make your way to the front of your mat. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, folding again. On the inhale, stay low. We'll come back to our chair pose, knees over toes, hands overhead. Adding that extra breath, exhaling, taking it lower. Nice move. Inhaling, rising on up, a little back bend at the top, beautiful. On the exhale, neutral spine. Let's do one more sun style B. We'll add that hip opener into the mix. Starting with our chair, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, folding again, making your way back to down dog as you will. So again, yeah. Either cycling through vinyasa, just stretching straight back. Vinyasa just means connected movement. Sometimes we do a lot of push-ups. You don't have to do them all. You might just find a plank and hold that for a couple of breaths and just draw it on back. So let's get that moving plank right this time. We're going to inhale forward to plank pose. On the exhale, we're going to take it back to down dog. Inhaling forward to the plank. Exhale back to down dog. This last one will hold. Inhaling forward to plank. Exhale and hold. Inhale and hold. Exhale and hold. One more half breath, breath in. And then breath out. Lifting those hips high and holding for another breath. So to our three-legged dog, we're going to throw a hip opening sequence into the mix. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Finding your three-legged dog, right leg high to the sky. High on the left toes. Keeping that right shoulder just as it is, lifted leg straight as we stack the hips. Right hip on top of left, beautiful. Now bending that top leg, opening up that hip, just holding it, just feeling the stretch. And now looking between the hands as you bring that foot on through, spinning the back heel down, finding your balance, lots of ways to do that. Arms up and over the head for your warrior one. And then riding your exhale back to low lunge. And again, take your time. I really like the way you're flowing, nice and deliberate. Yeah, so either cycling through vinyasa, finding your down dog. And again, vinyasa just means connected movement. There's lots of ways to connect movement and lots of movements to connect. From down dog when you're ready. Second side, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky for the three-legged dog. Keeping that left shoulder just as it is, lifted leg straight as we stack the hips, left on top of right. Now bending that top leg, opening up that hip. And then looking between the hands, bringing that left foot on through. Spinning the back heel down, finding your balance, arms up and over the head for your warrior one. And then riding your next exhale back to low lunge. And then from there, moving through space with grace, maybe finding chaturanga into urdhva, maybe skipping that and just finding your plank. Again, just feeling your breath, feeling your body, feeling those two connect as we move and breathe. From down dog, long smooth breath in, long smooth breath out. exhale into that breath. Bending the knees ever so slightly, lifting tailbone a little higher, more space in the low back. And then looking between the hands as you either step or take that jump front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, folding again. On the inhale, back to our chair pose, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. Beautiful. On the inhale, rising on up. On the exhale, standing tall. I want you to face the camera, Kathy. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart. Again, that light press of your thumb against your sternum. A slight tuck of the chin. Relax shoulders, your weight gathers in your feet. Coming back to that internal focus. Just watching as your breath flows in. And as your breath flows out. Now lifting the chin tall through the crown, hands by our side. So let's bring hands on hips as we either step or jump our feet hip width apart. Let's angle the toes out just a tad. Soft, soft knees, hands by our side. You probably see this one in the parks of San Francisco. If you haven't come out to San Francisco in a while, it's probably time. We're just going to rotate from side to side. I call this one the agitator, just because that's what that item in a washing machine is called. It goes back and forth just like this. From this place, I'll invite you to make a pair of soft, soft fists. We'll start to give ourselves a little tap, one side of the belly, and then its mirror image on the diagonal and back. Just a little, yeah, so maybe more of a fist-like, yeah. And then keep it soft. We don't want to beat ourselves up here. Now that back fist is going to keep tapping just below the back kidney, soft, of course. Front fist is going to tap just below the shoulder. Now that front fist is going to tap the top of the shoulder. And again, keep it soft. And now that front fist is start to back down just below the shoulder. And now that front fist is going to tap either side of the navel. And now we're going to lose those fists, coming back to an open hand. We'll start to slow it down. And then back to center. From here, I'll invite you to jump it in, thin like a pin. If the jump's too much, just toe heel it in. Working through an extended standing sequence, Sun Salutation C. We'll find our chair pose, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length as you look up. And then on the exhale, grounding on down, making your way back to down dog, as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. And once you go sideways here, Kath. So we're going to repeat that hip opening sequence here. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky for the three-legged dog. High on the left toes. Trying to keep that right shoulder just as it is. Lifted leg straight as we stack the hips. Now bending that leg, opening up that hip, and just holding for a half a breath. Just enjoying that sensation. And then looking between the hands. As you bring your right foot on through, spinning that back heel down, arms up and over the head for our Warrior One. In our Warrior One, I'll invite you to bring hands back to the hips, shifting the weight onto the front foot as we slide that back foot back or step it back. We'll lengthen our stance. With our hands on our hips, we can steer our hips front. Now, 4 fingers find the tip of a thumb. I call this bird beak hands. We're going to try to touch the front of our wrist as we stretch out the back of our wrist. Bringing those 2 bird beaks onto our shoulders to relax our shoulders and square the heart front. Now finding a clasp of the fingers behind the head, pressing the head into the hands, open heart and throat, elbows wide to the side. And then from here, I'll invite you to stretch those hands high to the sky. From here with the breath, palms face back, straightening the front leg without locking the knee as we gather up the energy. On the exhale, finding your cactus arms. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. We're halfway done. Breathing in and breathing out. Last 2 here, breathing in, breathing out. Last 1, breathing in, breathing out. And I'll invite you to hold this Warrior One with cactus arms. The elbows move back, the hands come with. I'll invite you to ripple those fingers, keeping those hands supple, feeling the stretch, open heart, open throat, a little lift of the chin. Now from here, let's turn warrior one into warrior two as hands find the heart, prayer position. Now we're going to open up our hips to face the side. I'll invite you to kick the back foot in just a little bit as we narrow our stance. One long arm for our warrior two. And then looking out over those front fingers with a steady yet relaxed gaze. As we hold warrior two, another breath or two, feeling stretch in two directions. Back hand stretches back, front hand stretches front. Crown of the head reaches high as the base of the pelvis roots down towards the floor. Strong, strong legs. From here, painting rainbows. We'll straighten the front leg without locking the knee, breathing in, palm faces back. On the exhale, back to our warrior two. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. We're halfway done. Breathing in, breathing out. Last two, breathing in, breathing out. We got one more to go. Breathing in, holding your reverse warrior. Top hand reaches up a little higher. Back hand reaches down a little further. Breathing into that lateral front line, finding a little more space between each rib. And then breathing into that space. And then from our reverse warrior, back to warrior two. From here, finding a rainbow warrior, a clasp of the fingers behind the back, shoulder blades back and down onto rib shelf, open heart, open throat. And then leading with the heart as we take a forward fold inside the front leg. Relaxing the neck, heaving the head as we draw the hands as much as you can up and away from the back. Now, if this is challenging, feel free to grab a little piece of cloth, a strap. As we hold the shape, I'll invite you to add a little swing, a little sway, releasing any tension in the neck and shoulders. And then letting that tension drain down through the crown of the head into the earth, where it's gone, at least for now. In our rainbow warrior, I'll suggest a strong tuck of the chin. Remember those bird beak hands stretching out the back of the neck. Now lifting the chin tall through the crown as we come back to our warrior two. One long arm looking out over those front fingers with that mixture of effort and ease. From here, let's move towards extended side angle. Back hand finds the hip. And then we're going to ground the front hand on top of the thigh. The palm faces up. 3 steps on the top arm. We're just going to let it hang down towards the ground, letting any tension in that shoulder just drain down through those fingers. Nice, beautiful. And just let it go. Feel super, super relaxed. Now we're going to stretch the hand away from the body, 45 degrees. Yeah, beautiful. Long through those fingers, more space in that shoulder. Now keeping that shoulder spacious as we sweep the hand towards the front of the room. As we hold our extended side angle, strong through that back leg, long through the torso, the arm, the fingers, a little more engagement in that bottom hand. Beautiful, almost like you're holding a platter of chocolates or sushi, whatever you want. And then maybe lifting the face to look up to that hand, almost like that top hand is a mirror, and you want to see your beautiful face in that mirror. Beautiful, look at that. From here, let's move towards the half moon if you choose. Top hand finds the hip. I want you to go forward for this demo here. Setting the base with 2 hands. So 2 hands find the floor. You take a big step in. Now you're going to lift that back leg. That second hand can stay on the floor. So you want to maybe come a little bit forward with that hand. Yeah, set it up. That hand can stay down. Maybe it finds the hip. Maybe you use that hand to open up that shoulder if you have your balance. Yeah, beautiful. And then stretching that hand high to the sky. As we hold the half moon with every breath in, as the diaphragm stretches down towards the navel, gathering energy in your center of balance. As you breathe out, as the diaphragm domes up to the heart, sending energy out through 2 arms, 2 legs, both ends of the spine, connecting with the pulsation of your breath as you get bigger from the inside out. I'll cue the easy landing here. Hand finds the hip. You're going to land a short stance, so no big deal. Shifting the weight into the feet as you come on up. Now lengthening your stance as you scoot that back foot back, finding your warrior two. And then from here, a big windmill of the arms as you stretch out your shoulders, finding your low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Again, take your time. No need to rush. This is your practice. On all the other days when you're not practicing with us, you have total freedom to go at your own pace. Now I'm going to lower the camera. We're going to sneak in a ground set here. All right, I think that's good. From our down dog shape, I'll invite you to find a child's pose. As you land the knees, lightly nestling your belly inside your thighs. Arms in extension, the palms face down. Take your time with this. Just letting yourself be super, super, super heavy. Now from here, let's play with our shoulders a little bit. So we got the palms facing down. I'll invite you to spin the palms up to the sky. Thumbs face out, little fingers face in. Just noticing how that feels on your shoulders. Now spinning the palms down again. We're going to go through center. We're going to spin the palms up, but this time we rotate the armpits the other way. And that's going to be a little more challenging, but just notice how that feels on your shoulders, just finding more space with your breath. And then coming back down to a palm facing down position. From here, let's keep hips and heels just as they are as we find a side bend. So keep the hips here, so you're going to walk the hands to one side. So arms are going to be long in front. Yeah, there you go. And you're going to stretch far hip to far heel, just feeling the stretch on side waist. And then walking the hands through center, keeping hips and heels just as they are. As we find that side bend the other way, stretching other hip to other heel, just enjoying that stretch. And low side waist. And breathing into whatever sensation you're feeling. Now coming back center, let's find a kneeling hero pose here. We're going to walk our hands back. We're going to sit on our feet. The inner knees connect. One palm supports the other, finding your breath. From here, let's find eagle arms. Arms out to the side. We're going to bring right under left, either finding a cross shoulder hug or connecting the palms. Elbows up, up, and away as we breathe into back heart. Now adding a little breath and movement as we lengthen through each side waist, open heart, open throat, a little bit of a back bend. On the exhale, as if you're rounding up and over a ball, navel, forearms toward navel, forehead towards hands. Let's do that a couple more times. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, rounding it in. And then coming back to flat back, tall spine. Releasing the wind of the arms. One palm supports the other. Relax shoulders, finding your breath. Second side, arms out to the side. This time left under right for our eagle arms. Or again, cross shoulder hugs, another option. Elbows up, up, and away as we breathe into back heart. Now adding breath and movement as we lengthen through each side waist, inhaling. On the exhale, rounding it. Inhaling, opening it up. Exhaling, rounding it. One more time, breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, rounding it. And then coming back to neutral spine, flat back, tall spine. And then releasing the wind of the arms. Relax shoulders, finding your breath. From here, let's tuck the toes and sit on our feet. So, why don't you go sideways for this, Kathy? So the toes are tucked. We're sitting on our feet. Yeah, so you're going to use the weight of the body to stretch out that place where the toe and the foot connect. One palm supports the other despite the intensity of sensation, keeping an easeful quality to your breath. From here, let's ground down through two hands. We're going to lift the knees as we find our low squat, separating the knees and then laying the body long between those knees as we stretch out our low back. Palms face down. You might find the tips of 10 fingers. As we hold this stretch, feeling length not just in the spine, but on those inner shins as you push the big toes down and stretch those knees wide. And let's play with that shoulder exploration again as we spin the palms up. Just noticing how your shoulders feel.
Now spinning the palms back down, and then we're going to take it 100% the other way as we rotate the armpits out and spin those palms up, just noticing the stretch. Now spinning the palms down, let's walk the hands in. Let's close the knees, challenging our balance as we bring one hand to the heart, the other hand joins. And now stretching those hands high to the sky. I'll invite you to ripple those fingers as you find your balance. Now spinning palms out and then grounding down through 10 fingers. And we're going to use the hands and the fingers to give our knees a bit of a break here as we start to straighten our legs on up. From here, let's toe heel the feet wide, soft knees as we catch opposite elbows and gently swinging it from side to side. Switching the cross of the elbows, keep swinging it from side to side. And then coming back center, a strong tuck of the chin as hands find the thighs, and we'll push hard into the thighs to support the low back as we masterfully roll ourselves up. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, I'll invite you to bring your hands back to your heart. This time adding an isometric engagement as we press the palms together, elbows out to the side, a tuck of the tail, a tuck of the chin, connecting with the strength of our center. And then hands by our side. From here, let's bring hands on hips, and if your feet aren't already nice and wide, I'll invite you to either step or jump them out wide. Angling the toes out just a tad, giving our hips a little more room to breathe. And upholding the heavens here. As we squat down, we're going to clasp the fingers, gathering up the energy, raising the energy up, inhaling, spinning the palms up to the sky as we lift up onto the toes. So we exhale down as we scoop up the energy. Inhale up, present the palms up to the sky as we lift up onto the toes. Exhale and inhale. We're halfway done. Exhale and inhale. Last two. Exhale and inhale. Last one. Exhale, inhale, and hold. And we'll jump on those toes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold. Up a little higher. Tip, 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 tippy toes. And then lowering the heels. Hands by our side. I'll invite you to step or jump it in. Thin like a pin. We'll do that standing pose sequence on our second side. I'll invite you to find your chair pose. Knees over toes, hands over head. Exhaling, taking your chair a little bit lower. On the inhale, rising on up, glutes engaged to support a back bend at the top. Awesome. And then on the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length as you look up. And then keeping that length as you ground on down, making your way back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Awesome. Beautiful movement. And again, we're going to get that moving plank right, letting your inhale bring you forward to the plank. On the exhale, drawing it back. Inhaling forward to the plank. Exhaling, drawing it back. This last one will hold. Inhaling forward to the plank. Exhale and hold. Yeah, hold it if you can. Inhale forward. Exhale and hold. Inhale and hold. Exhale and hold. One more half breath. Breath in. And then breath out. Back to down dog. And holding for another breath. Flow style. Big toes touch. Heels slightly apart. Finding your three-legged dog. Left leg high to the sky. Keeping that left shoulder just as it is. Lifted leg straight as you stack the hips. Now bending that top leg. Opening up that hip. Feels so good. Just holding a little extra half breath. And then looking between the hands as you bring that left foot on through. Spinning the back heel down. Take your time. Find your balance. Hands can always find the hips. And then up and over the head. From here, we can bring hands back to the hips as we shift weight onto the front foot to lengthen our stance as we take that back foot back. With our hands on our hips, we can steer back hip, front hip back. Four fingers can find the tip of the thumb for that bird beak exercise to stretch out our wrists. And then bringing those two bird beaks onto our shoulders to relax our shoulders and square our heart front. Excuse me. Now finding the other clasp of the fingers behind the head, pressing the head into the hands, open heart and throat, elbows wide to the side, feel the stretch, enjoy that stretch. And then stretching those hands high to the sky. Long through the side waist, long through those arms, long through those fingers. And then with the breath, we can gather up the energy on the exhale, offering out with our cactus arms. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. We're halfway done. Breathing in and breathing out. The last two, breathing in, breathing out. Last one, breathing in, breathing out in, holding. Elbows move back, the hands come with, rippling those fingers. Feel the stretch, and this is a great go-to stretch, whether you're on a yoga mat or not. Now turning warrior one into warrior two. Hands find the heart. We're going to open up the hips to face the side wall, and then finding one long arm, looking out over those front fingers with that mixture of effort and ease. As we hold warrior two, feeling length from the front hand stretching front, back hand stretching back, tall through the crown of the head, grounded down through the pelvic floor. Yeah, so you want to feel that action in two directions. And the strong legs are going to support all that engagement as we hold the shape. Now adding breath and movement, breathing in as we paint a rainbow, straightening front leg without locking the knee. Exhaling back to our warrior two. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. We're halfway done. Breathing in, breathing out. Last two, breathing in, breathing out. Last one, we'll hold that reverse warrior. Long through that top arm. Back hand comes down a little further. Breathing into that lateral front line. Just finding more space between each rib. Just enjoying that stretch. And breathing into that space. And then turning reverse warrior back into warrior two. Bending that front leg. Moving towards extended side angle, backhand, reverse warrior. Thank you, yoga model.
This thing, whatever.
Okay, so we're in a warrior two.
Yeah.
And now we're going to find your warrior two. And now we're going to find the reverse warrior. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh no, it's the one where you put your head down.
The rainbow warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. So clasp of the fingers behind the back. Shoulder blades back and down, open heart and throat. And we want to keep that openness as we find that forward fold. Inside the front leg, arms up and over the head. Beautiful. And again, this is a lot of work. I know the balance can be challenging. So really finding your feet. And then from the strength of those feet, let that neck relax. Let the head be super heavy. A little swing, a little sway, just releasing any tension in the neck and shoulders. And just letting it ground down through the crown of the head into the earth, where it's gone, at least for now. And this is almost like the bird beak action here. So a strong tuck of the chin. Chin tries to touch the chest. We're stretching out the back of the neck as we come on up. Now lifting the chin tall through the crown as we find our warrior two. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now we're going to move towards that extended side angle as we backhand catches the hip. We ground forearm on top of the thigh. The palm faces up. 3 steps on the top arm. We're going to let it just hang down to the ground. Yeah, just let it go. Any tension in that shoulder, just let it drain down through those fingers. Beautiful. Now we're going to find more space in the shoulders. We stretch it away, so 45 degrees. And you want to keep that sense of space as we sweep it front. As we hold the shape, grounded down through that back foot, strong back leg, long through the torso, long through the arms, long through those fingers. And as we hold, I'll invite you to maybe pretend that top hand's a little hand mirror, and you're lifting your face to look up. Look in that mirror. You want to keep the brow smooth. Yeah, no need to.
Well,
It's the brights. Okay. Still trying to. Yeah, maybe close your eyes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Nice smile on your face. Feeling free to hold this position. Very challenging position. Lots of good work to be done without movement. If you do want to turn it into the half moon, top hand comes back to the hip. We can take a big step in. I want you to face forward here. I'll suggest you use his 2 hands to set the base. Lifting that back leg from that base of 2 hands and front foot. So you want to go maybe a little front with those hands, yeah. One hand's going to stay down. or both hands can stay down. Maybe that hand finds the hip. Maybe it opens up that shoulder. Maybe it stretches high to the sky. And as we hold the shape with every breath in, as the diaphragm stretches down to the navel, gathering energy in that place of balance. And then from that place, as the diaphragm domes up to the heart, you're going to send that energy out through the legs, arms, both ends of the spine, connecting with the pulsation of the breath, connecting the center of yourself to the periphery of the universe. Beautiful. Now, the easy dismount here, hand finds the hip, landing a short stance. Shifting the weight into the feet, easy peasy as we come on up. Now shifting weight onto the front foot as we regain that length of stance for our warrior two. And then one more time this morning. I'll invite you to find that big windmill of the arms as we find our low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you walk. Take your time. Deep, full breaths. And we'll lower the camera. Again, we'll do another ground set, and then we'll call it a morning here. So I'll invite you to find your child's pose as you come all the way down to the ground. Now in our child's pose, this time, rather than having the arms in extension, I'll suggest a cross of the forearms or a pair of soft fists. Letting your brow rest on those forearms, on those pair of soft fists. So this is, so we have heart chakra, fourth chakra, throat chakra, fifth chakra. We have brow chakra, sixth chakra, also known as the third eye. Away from all that chakra talk, a little pressure on the forehead here is a great way to release and relax any tension in the back of the head, the neck, and the shoulders. And just letting it drain down into the earth through that contact. From here again, let's come to a kneeling hero pose. As we sit on our feet, the inner knees connect. Now, if this is too much, hello Tazzy. I don't know if you're on camera.
Hi.
There's a down dog for you.
Hello.
One palm supports the other, or one palm supports the pooch. Just finding your breath. Let's do a couple more shoulder stuff here. So I invite you to find a clasp of the fingers behind the back, shoulder blades back and down, open heart, open throat. And then try to keep your sits bone to heel connection as you find a forward fold. And then lifting the sits bones as you ground down through the crown of the head, seventh chakra. Tazzy wants to say hi one more time, and maybe not. There she is. And now with the crown of the head down, I'll invite you to circle the crown any amount. So you're giving the top of your head a little bit of a massage here. So you might even go more the crown of your head, not the brow. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, a little bit more even if you can, if it's cool in your neck. And I'll suggest more of a circle action as opposed to side. So right here, and you want to circle, yeah. Doesn't have to be big. And then take those circles the other way. Now a tuck of the chin as we bring it on up, let the arms lead the way. And then releasing. That clasp of the fingers, one palm supports the other. Just coming back to our breath. She got inspired by our yoga. Let's do one more thing for our shoulders here. As we find the other clasp of the fingers, we're going to press the palms up to the sky. In this configuration, very deliberate here, very small movement here, we're going to lift the shoulders up to the ears. We're going to bring them, keeping them lifted to the back plane of the body, and then going to re-ground them back down towards the ribs. A couple more times, lifting the shoulders up, we take them back and down. One more, shoulders up, back, and down. And then from this place, either keeping your gaze straight ahead or lifting your face to look up to the sky. Now keeping the face lifted, I'll invite you to release the clasp of the fingers, but keep the hands high, palms face front. Just breathing into those ribs, breathing into those lungs, just enjoying the day. And then bringing hands back down. One palm supports the other, finding our breath. From here, let's bring our feet off to one side, two long legs in front. Let's give those knees a little love and consideration. I'll invite you to bring a hand on each side, just warming up that connective tissue. Fingers find the back of the knee, finding more space in that place. And then giving that kneecap a little wiggle. Other knee, a hand on each side, just warming up that connective tissue. Fingers find the back of the knee, and then giving that kneecap a little wiggle. From here, I want you to go sideways, Kathy, and stay in frame. And we'll do a long, slow roll down here. So we'll start from flat back, tall spine, neutral spine, back of the head is in line with the sacrum. And I want you to find Frankenstein arms, so the arms in front, the palms face down. From here, we're going to find C-spine, and she tucks chin, she tucks tail, and she's going to slowly roll herself down, finding a little more space between each vertebrae. Yeah. Beautiful. Look at that. So deliberate. When she gets down, I'll invite her to find a full body stretch. Arms by the ears, not too low. Want to keep the ribs from poking out. Another way to say it is you want to keep the ribs soft and drawing in. She's going to point fingers and toes, breathing in. Now flexing hands and feet, she's going to lift the head to tuck the chin. She's going to press the back into the mat as she slowly rolls herself up. When she gets to her sit, finding her neutral spine. Exhale, C-spine. Yeah. Inhale back to tall spine. We'll do one more roll down here. Tucking tail and chin as she slowly, slowly, slowly rolls herself down. Beautiful. Look at that. When she gets down, full body stretch, the low back lifts. And then keeping that sense of space in the lumbar spine as she sweeps her hands by her side, the palms face up, finding her Shavasana. Scooting the head back as she flattens the shoulders, whatever feels right and good for her, whatever feels right and good for you. Tip of the tongue is now neutral in the mouth. A slight part to the lips, but still breathing in and out through your nose. As we hold the shape, initially focusing on your breath, but as we hold the shape, even letting that focus soften as we take our senses inside for the Pratyahara. I'm going to ring these yoga bells 3 times. I'll invite you to move your mind before you move your body. Just bringing your attention back to your breath, watching as it flows in and out. Like watching a river as the river flows by. Now shaping your breath with a long, slow inhalation, followed by an even longer, slower exhalation. Letting any unnecessary tension that might still linger in your body after our practice, letting it just go with every out-breath. You might even let those breaths sigh out through your mouth, just getting a little heavier, more settled. Keeping this more relaxing breath, I'll invite you to ripple fingers and toes, inviting more circulation into your body. Now circling wrists and ankles as we invite that circulation in towards center. Adding a little shimmy of the shoulders, a little shake of the hips, whatever feels right and good for you this morning. Now moving towards Apanasana, we draw one knee at a time in towards our heart as our hands catch our shins. And then using your thighs to massage your low belly as you lift and lower your low back and hips. Any other movement that feels right and good, go for it. Circles, side to side. Just connecting with your own innate sense as to what's right and good for you. Keeping the knees close in, stretching long through the right arm. Rolling onto your right, just being super, super heavy on the floor, letting that arm serve as a cushion for the head. I'll invite you to let your next exhale just sigh out through the mouth. And then a soft tuck of the chin as you push into your hands, finding a cross-legged sit. I'll invite you to bring the heels of your hands to your thighs, pushing your thighs away as you sit up a little straighter, a little taller. A slight tuck of the chin as 5 fingers of one hand find the ground. The palm of the other hand faces the sky. Ending our practice as we started, just watching as our breath flows in and as our breath flows out. From this place of breath awareness, I invite you to bring your hands to your heart and bowing as you thank yourselves for practicing yoga and as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world. The light within me honors and respects the light within you, and in this light, we are one. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you at home for practicing with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy, for practicing with me.
And happy birthday, Monica.
Happy birthday, Monica. And thank you, Tazzy, for the cameo. And we'll see you all next time. And if you have a chance to get down to the Bay Club, we've got classes on the roof. I'm there most days. And I'd love to see you in person. If not, I'll see you in this place